Hello, everyone. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad to see everyone that stopped by. And today we're going to do just a short video to talk about or expand upon really something that Mike from around the world said last night in one of his interviews with Paul Begley, which a lot of us said, daily excellence, council of time. We love to be there to see this live. But he mentioned this article that had come out yesterday, just a few hours before he went on, called Earth and Hot Water. And so I went ahead and I looked that up, but there was definitely more to it. Let me say hello to everyone super fast. Hi, Keith. Ooh, is this about that fault with the hot water slipping through it in the Pacific? That's only part of it, Keith. It's much bigger. Child of the King Jesus, my Lord. Hello. God bless you. TNT, Daryl, Neo, Kathleen. Good to see everyone. Awesome. Okay. All right, let's get into this super fast. Okay, we're going to read at least part of the article that Mike mentioned. Then I'm going to steer you to what I found after. Okay. It's by AP. So if you want to see what kind of news Mike from around the world is reading, this is definitely one of them. Earth and hot water worries over sudden ocean warming spike. It was written yesterday. The world's oceans have suddenly spiked much hotter and well above record levels in the last few weeks, with scientists trying to figure out what it means and whether it forecasts a surge in atmospheric warming. Now we know what it is. The Earth is expanding, it's heating up. Magnetosphere is wonky, so it's causing all kinds of problems, okay? But this article goes into steering the reasons more towards El Nino rather than the magnetic pole reversal we're in. But we're just going to read this article, okay? I just wanted to give y'all a heads up on that. But it does say some researchers think the jump in sea surface temperature stems from a brewing and possibly strong natural El Nino warming weather condition plus a rebound from 3 years of a cooling La Nina, all on top of steady global warming that is heating deeper water below. If that's the case, they said, record-breaking ocean temperatures this month could be the first in many heat records to shatter. See, the difference from where they're coming is that they're trying to say that the water heating up is from above, when in truth, it's from below, okay? But they're acting a little baffled, a little like it's mysterious. Okay, but listen, it says from early March to this week, the global average ocean sea surface temperature jumped nearly 0.2 of a degree Celsius, according to the University of Maine's Climate Reanalyzer, and that's a big deal. That may sound small, but the average of the world's oceans, which is 71% of Earth's area, to rise so much in that short a time, that's huge, said University of Colorado climate scientist Chris Karnauskas. That's an incredible departure from what was already a warm state to begin with. It has warmed especially off the coast of Peru and Ecuador. That's pretty specific information. So while we're looking at Indonesia and all the islands over there, on the other side of the Pacific, Peru and Ecuador is starting to light up. And I'm pretty sure we were supposed to be watching for that. Okay, it has warmed especially off the coast of Peru and Ecuador, where before the 1980s, most El Niños began. It says this is an unusual pattern. This is an extreme event at a global scale in areas that don't fit with merely an El Nino, said Princeton University climate scientist Gabe Vecchi. That is a huge, huge signal. I think it's going to take some level of effort to understand it. Okay, the University of Colorado took global sea surface temperature anomalies over the past several weeks and subtracted the average temperature anomalies from earlier in the year to see where the sudden burst of warming is highest. He found a long stretch across the equator from South America to Africa. That's the Atlantic, if I'm not mistaken, if they were going east. But if they were going west, it would be the Pacific. Okay, yeah, it says including both the Pacific and Indian Oceans, responsible for much of the global temperature spike. They think, okay, whatever. That area warmed 0.4 of a Celsius in just 10 to 14 days, which is highly unusual. Part of that area is clearly a brewing El Nino, which scientists may confirm in the next couple months, which would explain why Mike is saying, watch out for the storms. To have that kind of temperature increase and it's in such a short time. Oh yeah, it's gonna get exciting, and for lack of better words. Okay, it can be bad exciting, it can be good exciting. I'm saying we're already starting at such an elevated background state, a baseline of really warm global ocean temperatures, including in the tropical Pacific and Indian Ocean. And suddenly you add on a developing El Nino, and now we're like off the chart. All right, so if you want to read the rest of that article, it's easy to find. Just type in earth and hot water ? And it will bring it right up. Okay. Now I'm going to check the chat super fast and I'll tell you what I found. Hello, Dan. God bless you. And Diana. Very good to see you. Okay. All right. Okay. Hipsy Gypsy. Hello. Almost missed that you were here. Glad to see you. All right. Here we go. All right. First of all, this was written February 22nd. 2 months before this article that we just read came out. It says, the study published last month, which would have been in January, I guess, from this article. The study published last month in the American Meteorological Society's Journal of Climate and conducted by scientists from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that's NOAA, and the Northern Gulf Institute, found significant warming of the Gulf's sea surface temperature. Now, this article down here says Gulf of Mexico warming twice as fast as global ocean, right? So we just read an article that was talking about the Earth's ocean impact a whole month prior, 2 months prior, February 22nd of this year, this article that I'm about to read to you. Gulf of Mexico warming 2 times faster than global ocean, report says by David Yeomans. The new study has found that surface waters in the Gulf of Mexico have warmed approximately twice as fast as the global ocean over the last 50 years. The study published last month in the American Meteorological Society's Journal of Climate and conducted by scientists. Yep, we just read that little footnote. Okay, it's a 1.8 degree Fahrenheit jump between 1970 and 2020. This works out to 30.34 degrees Fahrenheit of warming per decade, equating to roughly twice the rate of warming observed in the global ocean as a whole. Now remember, this would be an average. That would mean that sometimes it was hotter than others. It can be stacking, but it would give you an average. So it doesn't tell us what the last few numbers have been compared, like in the previous 3 years per se, as compared to the other years. It just says this is the average. So be sure to be aware of that little tidbit there. Researchers found warming at all depths of the Gulf of Mexico, from the sea surface to the ocean floor. But the greatest warming was observed in the upper 50 meters of the ocean. In the study, NOAA and NGI scientists analyzed 192,890 temperature profiles collected in the Gulf of Mexico between 1950 and 2020. Argo floats in conductivity temperature depth meters. Why this is important. The global ocean stores tremendous amounts of heat, and that heat storage is increasing as the climate warms. In fact, just the top few meters of global ocean depth store as much heat as the Earth's entire atmosphere. As the NCEI explains, warming waters in the Gulf of Mexico can lead to sea levels rising, a larger dead zone where there are lower levels of oxygen for fish and wildlife. That means fish die off in the Gulf, all the way down to the floor bottom dwelling crustaceans. Sorry. Yes. Just everything from top to bottom. That's what they're talking about. Lower levels of oxygen plus the floor heating up. It heating up. It can cook them too. All right. But it'll also lead to more intense hurricanes. For those living near the Gulf, warming waters can also cause warmer overnight temperatures. That could be especially true during the summer when prevailing winds are from the southeast. Now, for all of you southerners, you know what it's like to have a hot, muggy night. I have. Yeah, sometimes the electricity was off. Sometimes I was at grandma's house where we pretty much didn't have air conditioning and heating yet in the house. I mean, they were old school when I was a kid back in the 70s. Sure. So, yeah, that's what they're saying. It's going to be hot and it's going to be muggy, to say the very least, with more intense hurricanes and sea creature die-off. But it says here in this article, UN warns of rising seas. Earlier this month, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned global sea levels have risen faster since 1900, and the relentless increase puts countries like Bangladesh, China, India, and the Netherlands at risk and acutely endangers nearly 900 million people living in low-lying coastal areas. In a grim speech to the Security Council's first ever meeting on the threat to international peace and security from rising sea levels, what did I just say? In a grim speech to the Security Council's first ever meeting on the threat to international peace and security from rising sea levels, Guterres declared that sea levels will rise significantly even if global warming is miraculously limited to the 1.5 degrees Celsius, the elusive international goal, which they happen to mention. Oh, if we can just get it 1.5 degrees. Yeah, no, that's not going to help. What I think they're trying to do is cushion the fall of the pole reversal, the pole shift that's coming our way. He warned that the Earth is more likely on a path to warming that amounts to a death sentence for countries vulnerable to that rise, including many small island nations. In addition to threatened countries, megacities on every continent will face serious effects, including Cairo. And this is an article about the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, same article. Serious effects, including Cairo, Lagos, Maputo, Bangkok, Dhaka, Jakarta, Mumbai, Shanghai, Copenhagen, London, Los Angeles, New York, Buenos Aires, and Santiago. Our world is hurtling past the 1.5 degree warming limit that is a livable future, requires, and with present policies is careening toward 2.8 degrees, a death sentence for vulnerable countries. The end. The end. Is it? All right. So this definitely, when Mikey just kind of, oh, there's this article and the oceans are heating up, and you're like, what? And he's just gone with it. Oh, well, if you want to look it up, go ahead and look it up. And I'm like, I didn't hear you mention anything about the Gulf of Mexico. Let me check this article today. No. So I said, just for kicks and giggles, let me go ahead and just see if anything's going on in the Gulf. And lo and behold, It was a much bigger story than I really thought. I mean, I was definitely surprised. Now I know I'm still probably one of the main people all these years saying, watch that Gulf of Mexico. It is not as safe as you think. And then you think about the live I did not too long ago. It was like, new oil leases in the Gulf of Mexico. And you take the fact that they're going to start doing oil production in the Gulf of Mexico, where it is heating up twice as fast as the world's other ocean. I don't know about you, but they need to be very strategic and very careful about the drilling they do in the Gulf from here on. That's all I got to say. And if you live on the coast, like I've also mentioned in previous videos from years past, southern coast to Mexico, any coast really, move away. Move away a great distance, 90 miles minimum. All right. Okay. I'm also looking to do another live tonight around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, which would be 7 p.m. Eastern, probably 5 p.m. in Arizona. But I'll be back in a few hours, and we're gonna talk again. But you'll see. I hope to see you all again. Like, share, subscribe, comment. God bless you all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.